Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Captain America. Technically the fourth Captain America movie, but let's be honest here, Captain America is now Joe Biden, so we got a new one. So it's technically the first in the reboot, kind of the movies. My brain has trouble acknowledging this kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, but he's Captain America now. Maybe I should just start calling these superheroes by their real names instead of their superhero names. You are not Captain America, you are Steve Rogers. You are Sam Wilson. Simple as that. But here we are, a fourth movie, something that Feige said was never gonna happen until it apparently did because of the fact that, I don't know, they wanted to make money. Captain America has a huge brand, so of course they're gonna make another one. Even though Feige did state that characters who got Disney Plus shows got them for a reason. And that reason is they're not gonna get movies. And now we have this one, so that's that kind of a lie. So let's get into the plot a little bit. Simple as I can explain it without really giving any spoilers. Adamantium has risen from the earth in the Celestial at the end of Eternals. So basically everyone wants a little piece of that. So there's some problems there. And also we have Red Hulk. And that's basically the spoiler-free version, because I can't really explain anything else. Because outside of that, we are going into spoiler territory. And I will say this before we get into anything else. This movie is so stitched together. I've never seen a movie more stitched together than this thing. It's like, when I was thinking back on this movie, I was like, well, okay, so that plot, and then that plot, and then that plot, and then that plot. It's like, it's a bunch of stitched together because of the fact that there were a lot of rewrites. Kind of the same thing that happened with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Something that movie also suffers from heavily. It's all the rewrites and also the empty promises. That this one does not have, though. Also, this movie is a lot like Captain America Civil War. Not in the sense of quality, but more of the fact that, like, well, this is Sam's movie. This is also very much a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, which is kind of weird that Sam has to deal with it. It's like he doesn't have any villains of his own in the comic books. He just has repainted villains from, like, the Steve Rogers days, so they didn't know what to do with him. So here, have The Incredible Hulk 2. Something people have been waiting for about 20 years. Because I actually very much like The Incredible Hulk. You can watch my review. It went live last week. Which actually, this was not planned. It was just, this was the only time where I could actually watch this movie. So let's get into the cast. I will have a spoiler talk later to talk about spoilers. So, starting off, obviously, we have Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, also known as Captain Falcon. I had to say that. And yeah, he's now officially fully taken up the shield after his own Disney Plus show and after he was handed the thing at the end of Endgame. And I think he's fun in the movie. He's actually pretty good. I like him. He's a likable actor. And I've loved the character since we got him introduced in Civil War. However, he is missing his partner in this movie, which is what made him so good early on, which is the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky. We don't really have Bucky in this movie, which is a bit of a shame because they work off each other so well, and I like that a lot. But he's actually really good, Anthony Mackie. He's good as Sam. However, character arc is not really something that he goes on this movie. It's basically, this movie is just stuff happens and he's involved. That's it. So let's go on to the next one where we have Danny Ramirez as Joaquin, not Phoenix, but Torres instead, as the new Falcon. And yeah, we've had so many of this guy's character in the MCU. The funny joke character in that sense. I mean, not a joke as in, you know, he's an actual joke, but it's more like the funny character. You know what I mean? We've had so many of these funny characters, so here's another one. However, from a side view, he did remind me of John Bernthal, which I thought was funny, because when he was first introduced, I was like, is that Punisher? But no. But he's fine in the movie. He works well. However, I can see people have very big annoyances with him because of the funny characterisms that he has. Next up, we have... I am going to mispronounce this name, and I don't care. We have Shira Haas, or however you pronounce that, as Ruth Bat Seraph, the woman who has caused a big controversy because of a war in a completely other country. I don't get it either. But she's Israeli, and she's playing the Israeli character who has actually been reworked in this movie, and instead of being what she was in the comic book, she instead is a Black Widow. And the actress is, so bad. The actress is really bad in the movie. I'm sorry. I don't want to hate on her, but she's just so bad. She's basically Ross's security advisor, but like the acting skills, she just doesn't have any. And her character is basically just in this movie just to be there. also doesn't necessarily have a character arc. Nothing really. So I don't really know why they included her. They could have replaced her with anyone else and it would have been the same thing. But the actress is bad. I will say that. Then next up we have Carl Lumbly back as Isaiah Bradley. And to be honest, he was one of the best parts of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. A show that I don't like. But he was one of the best parts in that show. I love this storyline. And in this movie, he kind of gets done a little bit dirty with the way that they do the storyline. It feels like a retread of what they did before. This whole movie, now that I think about it, kind of feels like a retread of a bunch of stuff that happened before. Mainly in the Captain America movies, where it's like, oh, hey, look, we have this whole storyline that we had in Winter Soldier. Yeah, let's do it again. However, let's be stupid and pretend that that movie didn't happen while also pretending that that movie happened. It's so weird, but he does a really good job as Isaiah Bradley. Next up, we have Giancarlo Esposito. Hope I pronounced that right. As Sidewinder. I don't know who Sidewinder is. Have no knowledge. This guy feels like he was actually a main villain in the movie maybe at some point until the rewrites happened and he was just gone. Or he was written into the movie as an extra fight, because that's literally what he is. He shows up, fight scene, done. Nothing really interesting or nuanced about him. It's just, he's there, and that's it. And then finally, because of the next character that I was gonna talk about, I'm not allowed to talk about, we have the one who, I wouldn't really say that Harrison Ford carries this movie on his back, because I think Anthony Mackie is also really good in this movie. But he basically carries the butts in seats of this movie on his back, because it's Harrison Ford. Of course you're gonna see it. And he plays Thaddeus Ross, and also the Red Hulk, which feels like a spoiler to say that, but it was the whole marketing of this movie, so it's kind of weird. And Thaddeus Ross was initially played by William Hurt initially. However, sadly enough, William Hurt back in 2022 passed away. So we need a new one. So nice of Harrison Ford to come in. However, Harrison Ford is actually really old. And he's done so much that it feels like he's kind of set for life. So people might think that this is like, oh yeah, he's here for a paycheck. But he actually isn't. He puts in the work. Like, I really enjoyed his acting. He's not just here for a paycheck, and I like that. I like the story that he has in this movie. It's probably my favorite story in the movie, even though it's not delivered as well as it should have been. But we can... Look, this whole movie's problem is probably just the rewrites, because they were rewriting this thing left and right according to what has been said. But I liked Ross's storyline throughout the movie a lot. Like, my favorite thing about this movie was the storyline that he has. Simple as that. And that's the cast, because the other one that we can talk about, I'm not going to talk about, because that is a big spoiler. However, my biggest issue with this movie is just the clashing of rewrite and the fact that it doesn't allow anything to breathe, because you got like the Red Hulk storyline, but also, yo, remember Eternals? Remember that thing sticking out of the ocean that we haven't done anything with? Yeah, we're finally gonna do something with that. And also it's like, right, Sam Wilson needs his own movie. It feels like a bunch of things were crammed into this movie, and none of it really has any time to breathe. I did enjoy parts of this movie. What I did not enjoy was the CGI. This movie looks... Like, I will say this. On occasion, the CGI looks good. But why do I have to say on occasion? It's because most of the movie CGI is like, wow, that is just not good. There are moments where it's like, oh, hey, look, Red Hulk actually looks good. And then the next scene's like, what happened to my boy? You look worse than She-Hulk. How is that possible? It's like, wow, this movie needed a lot more time to cook. Or maybe they should have just gone with the original script. Or maybe they should have made a Hulk sequel way ago. But, hey, overall, I did enjoy the movie, but I didn't think it was anything spectacular. So I'm just gonna go into the final verdict so I can really explain my problems with this movie in the spoiler talk. Let me just do a little bit of a summary to end it all. Anthony Mackie, I liked in this movie. Harrison Ford, I liked in this movie. I did not like the Israeli woman because of the fact that she can't act. I thought that the new Falcon was a funny guy, and the CGI is horrible. So my final verdict for Captain America is going to be a beautiful 6 out of 10. It's not as bad as I heard that it was, but it's not that good either. Sadly enough, it's not that good. I wish it was better, but it is not. It is such a shame because this movie also is like, hey, look, Sam Wilson is the new Captain America. And it feels like instead of trying to make Sam his own man, they just redo a bunch of stuff. Also, the MCU logo isn't in this movie. What's up with that? Just a question. Why is the MCU logo not in this movie? That is such a weird thing. But let me know, spoiler-free, thoughts in the comment section down below about this movie. And with that being said, thank you all so very much for watching it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if that's already, turn on notifications. And don't forget to check out the Let's Play channel, link in the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys in about an hour for my spoiler talk. And I'll see you guys next week when we continue on the MCU saga with Thor. Bye!